This is Dungeon Not Included, the actual play podcast for the adventurous listener.
Well, hello, boils and ghouls and everyone in Scream. This is a very special game of Dread that we are playing here on the our podcast here, Dungeon Not Included. There is no dungeon in this one as usual, but we're going to be playing a very different system. We're going to be playing Dread, which for those who don't know, Dread is a system that uses a Jenga tower to make pulls that increase tension and the dread as it ramps up. And if the tower falls, the character who pulls it is removed from the game. And the people who will be making those pulls are our usual cast of characters. So once again, I'm Alex. We have with us Frank, Brennan, and Rebel. Say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
So we are going to be playing a pre-written campaign called Camp Black Moon. It was written by Gabby Bird of Roleplay All Day. It is a 1980s summer camp spookum that we're going to be playing through today. How's everyone's day going? You guys ready?
I'm so ready for this.
Yeah, I think there's an error. I was trying to open up Portal 2, and I seem to have gotten whatever it is.
I was surprised to see you here today, Rebel. Scheduled time to meet. I do have one question before we begin for everyone.
Yes.
It is the day before Halloween. What do you call this day?
It's Mischief Night.
Mischief
Rebel
Night
has Mischief Night. You too, Alex? Okay.
Yeah.
Brennan, anything else?
Nothing at all.
Nothing.
There is no name for this.
Ooh, I have no name for
it. For Halloween.
It's kind of legendarily
it's Halloween Eve. Right?
Halloween Eve. Yes. Or like Devil's Night is a thing. I grew up calling it Goosey Night.
Goosey
Night?
And if you look at these polls,
the bird?
I guess, or the action of goosing someone. Yeah. The goosey bump. Oh, maybe it is about goosebumps. But yeah, if you do look up these polls on the internet, it's usually like a huge swath of the country says Devil's Night. Another one says Mischief Night. A pretty big population says I have no word for this. And there is one dot in New Jersey that says Goosey Night. And I grew up in that dot. I swear to you. And for a long time, I thought it was insane. When I went to college outside of my hometown, I was like, am I crazy? Because other people in my neighborhood would call it this. It's not one of those weird, foreign kid, you learned a new word for it. My family called fast forward feud. No one does that. It was our first VCR had the word feud. It was FF, and my parents tried to pronounce it. They said feud. But that wasn't it. People in my neighborhood called it Goosey Night. And I was like, I thought it was crazy. Until I went and I had a job somewhere in Northwest New Jersey, and somebody was saying, Goosey Night. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Why are there only 2 towns in this state, in this world that call it Goosey Night? No idea.
Here's the thing, I took one of those dialect quizzes where it tries to pinpoint where you're from, and on that map, there was only the tiniest little dot in New Jersey called it Mischief Night. So I don't know what was up with them. I didn't hear Mischief
Night a lot, but it was enough where other people recognized it as acceptable dialogue, like a y'all.
But Goosey Night is what the hell are you talking
What's wrong with you?
What are you talking about? Yeah, that's what I would have said if you called it Goosey Night. Yeah.
Yep. And now it's out there for everyone.
Well, I think that's what we're going to have to call it from now on. I think Goosey Night start spreading the word.
I would love it. Spread the word.
Pine Barrens. God, I want it to be in the Pine Barrens.
The game is set in the Pine Barrens? I don't know, Alex. Where is this camp?
Well, here I can read you. Let me read you the story that comes with this. As I said, we're using a pre-written story that's very good. So from what I've seen, so I'm going to read to you the bit that's on here. Oh, real quick, wanted to double check before lines and veils before we get started. For those at home, lines and veils are the what we're cool with, what we're not cool with. And I'm looking at our lines. I just want to double check because it is something that can be altered. Is self-harm anyone's line?
I am okay with it in the context of a horror game, for sure.
Just double check because it's something that's easily changeable.
Yeah, and let's veil it as well for that matter. Just like something bad, they did something to themselves, so we don't have to go into details.
Yeah, the veil on self-harm we can definitely do.
Perfect, awesome. Okay, I apologize that we have my dog going nuts in the background. I don't know if you guys can hear that.
I expect that our ratings will be the highest they've ever been. Because
Pickles real
real life Pickles.
Yeah. All right. So it's the summer of 1984 and school is out. You've completed your college semester for the semester. It's time to forget everything you've learned and let loose with a wild time. You're headed to your old stomping grounds from childhood, Camp Black Moon, for a little dancing, a little romancing, and drinking the night away. It was said that 5 years ago, a counselor was found dead at Camp Black Moon, so the entire campground was abandoned. That's recent enough to enjoy the facilities with little wear and tear. With a sleeping bag and some booze, you ride together as a group. You'll be playing college students, perhaps fitting into stereotypes like a jock or a cheerleader. Maybe you're just a nerd invited out of pity. And at that point, I have sent you questionnaires to figure out what characters you're going to be. So let's take a look at those questionnaires and see who we picked.
Frank, you're starting.
Okay. Let me even see if I could just for fun share that document. Whee! Even though everyone squints. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen.
There we go.
All right. So slightly better. So I am playing a character named Judd. You'll see why soon enough. He, him. What do I like? I'm a typical 80s rebel cool kid. So I'm thinking like leather jacket and a jean jacket, and also maybe frills on that are either leather or jeans. Just alternating. I go to college with all the other players, but I just found out I failed out. So,
oh no!
Like I will not be coming back next year. So this isn't just my like end of semester party. This is my farewell party. I'm taking it very emotionally because, of course, this is a big deal for someone who's in college and not at all for anybody else. My major was political science, which is hilarious because I'm a foul-mouthed jerk. I've only known everybody for about a year, and I probably met many of you in the D&D club. My mom ran off, and my dad gave me a pack of cigarettes for Christmas. So banner year at the Judd house. I'll never forgive my dad.
Is this just going to be entirely made up of Breakfast Club references?
1,000%. A little bit.
Will there be like anything for people of my generation?
There's going to be a little bit of Friday the 13th Part 2. Are you okay with that?
I've never seen it.
Good. I'll never forget my dad, myself, or the player that got me into the game club in college and hurt my GPA. I blame that guy who's in the NPC group, but I don't remember his name right now.
No, Melvin.
Melvin, of course, his name is Melvin. Frank, you're such a hack. Anyways, D&D and electric guitar are my hobbies. Woo!
All right. I am playing Brad from the football team. Wears the sporty clothes, sneakers, a team jacket. Goes to college with the others and plays in Judd's D&D group, and has met Rebel's character a couple of times. My major is sports medicine, but I'm here on a football scholarship, and come from a high pressure environment at home with a big emphasis on overachieving. And I will never forgive my dad for not letting me major in English Lit like I wanted to.
Wow.
So you're also got kind of a High School Musical vibe going too.
Yes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I love it.
Speaking of High School Musical, so my character's name is Renee, using she/her pronouns. She is very boring looking, like she already works in an office, muted blouse, khaki slacks, like that kind of shit.
Gray toad. Everybody else is in color, but you're just a little gray toad.
It's amazing.
Renee does not go to college with the others.
Oh.
She is the sister of Mia, who is in the Dungeons and Dragons club. And Renee goes to a different school where she majors in medicine. She's known the others for about a year, mostly through stuff with Mia, has met a couple of times with everybody, and wants to be real friends with Brad because they seem to have overlapping interests, and has had a couple of good conversations with Judd, surprisingly after that description. When her hobby, she liked to write and star in plays, the kind of stuff that 8-year-olds do, where it's not very creative, but they seem to be having a lot of fun. Much like Brad has very high expectations at home, to the point where every activity is scrutinized for its potential on a resume. I will never forgive Mia for setting the bar too high, because she's a fucking overachiever. And hobby is lacrosse.
Perfect. And we'll get to the rest of the NPCs as the story develops, as we need to use them. So our story begins with all of us, you three are driving together in your car to camp. Sorry, I gotta get my pages in order here. Okay, so you are driving to camp. It's a long, circuitous route through various woods. You are no longer, the roads switch from paved to unpaved, getting stonier and more grass as you go. It's very clear. It's still marked, but it is miles of kind of off the beaten path. You have your paper map out because it is the 80s. Of course. There's no map quest here to help you on your way. But you are driving up the road, and as you do so, you are having a conversation with each other. And about what are you guys thinking you're talking about right now?
Oh God, probably I'm talking about ancient aliens.
Oh no.
Because I just found out about them, and I think they're really interesting. And we're probably at the age where not all of us are completely tuning it out, because it's oh yeah, this is kind of cool. Oh man, this is bringing me back to really stupid conversations in cars.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
Yes.
So how did the Egyptians lift all those rocks? They were basically human. And they couldn't do it themselves. So
did you ever learn about basic machines? Pulleys.
Oh,
levers,
I'm sure they had all sorts of machines,
ramps,
robots, and all that stuff. The aliens were way advanced. They probably had like tractor beams and whatever. But I don't know how the aliens did it. But the Egyptians didn't do it by themselves.
I just. There were so many people that died, slaves, literally died to build those things, right?
I was a poli-sci major. Of course I know about slavery. It was bad.
No, I just mean like.
They hate him.
Seems like you think that
I hate him.
there weren't any people who worked on the pyramids. It was all just magical robots or whatever, and I'm pretty sure that's not the case. Like
Yeah.
I've read a couple of archaeological magazines.
So have I. I mean, and they say probably not. Agree to disagree.
Brad. I'm assuming that while this conversation is happening, you are driving the car.
Yes.
All right. So a
I'm
couple
not getting
questions for
involved
you.
just because they seem to be fighting with each other. So.
You are turning up the radio. What cassette is in your tape deck in your car right now?
Oh, geez. 1984.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's got to be a soundtrack of something. Come on.
Oh wow. Yeah, it's
Did Hoosiers this come out?
It's the Footloose soundtrack that came out in 1984.
Oh my
Of
god!
course it is. It's the Footloose soundtrack. I love that.
I was looking up Pink Floyd albums because
We're not cool enough.
Brad
for this,
Brad is not that cool. Brad is a jock that also wants to be an English lit major. I don't think he's into
Okay.
Floyd.
I'm
fair
not
enough,
like
fair enough.
fully headbanging, but I am bobbing my head way harder than Kenny Loggins requires.
I think.
Perfect.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say
Keep going.
Renee
Do you mean to interrupt?
has not watched Footloose.
Renee has not watched Footloose.
Renee actually kind of seems like the daughter of the guy who outlaws dancing.
That's exactly. That's the exact. Yeah.
The good kid, the one who's like, no, I agree.
There's this line from a comedy show that I can't remember what it's from, but it's like, you remember that movie Footloose where those evil kids won in the end? That's the kind of vibe you're getting from Renee.
I love that. Brennan, Brad.
Yeah.
As you turn back to potentially, I think you're considering interjecting, but you decide better. You go to drown them out a bit by turning up the radio when a deer runs in front of your car. It is time for you to react.
Yeah.
So for you to react, in dread, when we react to something or when a tough choice comes up, it is time to pull a tile from the tower. So if we could pull a tile, digital tower, real quick, the official rules here say some of these will apply, some won't. One hand only. We're using a mouse tracking pad, most likely here, so we're not going to be worrying about that. Once a block is pulled partially out, you must commit. So since we're doing this digitally, Brendan, you must pick it, and it will. Whatever one you pick is that's it. Just shout it out. And then finally, all polls must be from 3 rows from the top or bottom.
Okay, they can't be down near the bottom either.
No, they have to be 3 from the top or 3 from the bottom.
Okay, got it. All right.
Like
so
exactly or in between those?
In between
spaces?
that row. If the tower falls, the character who last touches the tower. This says dies, but technically in Dread, that's not the original. It's moved from the game, so that can be whatever way you want to. But so I'm going to keep the removed from the game on the off chance that it's something small that happens.
All right. So go down 3, Frank, and pull one of the side pieces from there.
All right. I hope that this is what you meant.
Yes, it is.
Oh, what? Nope.
Won't do it.
Okay, no, it's doing it. All right. You want it here?
I want
here
in the middle
or
if
here?
you can do it.
Yeah, let's see if we can. This looks like the middle to me. No!
No! That's okay.
All
It
right.
was actually the side all along.
What's
Digital
amazing?
Jenga.
Thanks to my terrible internet, I can't actually see any of this happening. I can only hear it. So this is I'm getting the full podcast experience.
Yes.
Everyone lied to Alex when it topples, as long as the sound effect is
it
everything's
fell
fine,
over.
Alex.
Wow,
Oh,
Alex.
no.
Oh, no.
For those of you listening at home, we just moved a Jenga piece, a virtual Jenga piece, to the top, and it's looking a little lopsided even on the first pull. But we'll see.
You slam on the brake, and as you turn the wheel, you do manage to fishtail a bit out of the way. Your car does go off the road a bit into a little bit of some roughage at the side. You're able to right it and get it back on the road, and you are back well on your way to the camp. And in fact, as you catch your breath after that experience and you are driving forward, you actually see in the distance the wooden sign hanging overhead it's like two large this is the 1980s and we don't care about cultural sensitivity when they're doing this stuff. It's two totem poles that are holding up it's terrible.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, so it's got two totem poles holding up a sign in the middle that says Camp Black Moon on it. As you pull in, you see a series of cabins in the distance, a large field, a fire pit that's already getting started, and no other cars that you can see, but you do see a couple of other people in the distance working on the fire pit, and somebody playing frisbee with their dog. So you have arrived officially at Camp Black Moon.
Okay.
Nice.
Perfect. The atmosphere, it is late spring, early summer. It's a nice day. It's getting towards dusk. It's not quite there yet. You can smell all the wonderful smells of nature. You are excited because you're so far away from anything else that you're not expecting a lot of light pollution. Should see a lot of stars tonight. And you start unloading your bags. Did anybody bring anything in particular with them for either for camp supplies or for fun? What did you guys bring?
Go ahead.
What are some Chekhov's guns we can put on the wall now?
Well, I was thinking I would definitely bring a lacrosse stick and a ball so I could practice while I was here.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I brought. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, you see Renee pulling the stick out of the truck bed or whatever.
Judd kind of looks like impressed. Like, all right, cool. Judd brought a bedroll, no tent, because he does not think ahead, and a genuine tomahawk, which it isn't. It's just a hand axe that he thinks is a genuine tomahawk.
Perfect.
And he's very excited to start chopping some wood, which is probably too small to actually do any. You'd be there all day trying to chop wood, and there's already wood chopped because why wouldn't there be? So he just sort of he's got the axe and he's like sort of excited to use it and has nothing to do, so he just shoves it in the tree.
Nice. Brad brought a football and a copy of Wuthering Heights.
Perfect.
Wow.
Love it. Love it.
Evocative.
That's adorable.
It is. I like Brad.
Yeah. Also, of all the classic lit to bring, why that one? Pride and Prejudice is right there.
It's true. It's true.
Well, you gotta. That was last break.
Yeah.
True enough.
So as you are unloading and looking around at the campsites, we see two people running towards you. You see Jenny and Jack unless I like the descriptions of these. You see Jenny and Jack Blackmoon on their way over to you. Jenny is also a bit of a party pooper, so you're a little surprised to see her here, but also she and her brother are kind of hosting. Jack Blackmoon is the quarterback of the team of the college that you guys go to, so we're going to call it College University is where you guys go.
Nice.
He's wearing his QU jersey.
Oh my God, I love it.
Yep. As they run up, and Jack takes his football and he throws it to. He looks over to Brad to throw it to Brad, but Brad already has a football in his hand, so I think Brad's going to throw the football to Renee.
Mm-hmm.
That is the most Ken from the Barbie movie moment.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so Ken. Like I can just imagine Ken throwing a football to another Ken who already has a football.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. So this is a reaction.
I was just trying to engage in conversation. We don't have to actually pull a tile.
Yeah.
There's no threat of death in this football situation.
Just social death.
Yeah.
No one talks to Renee for the rest of the How do you drop a football?
Well, I have sort of established that Renee is a bit of a sportsman as well. So I think Renee doesn't catch it outright, but sees it coming and sort of like puts the lacrosse stick up and it knocks it up, and then she manages to catch it after a little bit of a fumbling, right?
Nice job, Renee. Good catch. How are y'all doing? How was your ride up?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Hey,
the scenery's nice.
Yeah, right. It's gorgeous out here.
Yeah. So, do I know anything about being a former poli-sci major? Do I know anything about the Blackmoors and Blackmoons? And if they, and
I will say this. I think that we all know that this is their family owns the property, which is why you guys have access to it. It was one of many properties that the family had. They ran their like second cousin ran the camp a while back, but it's been ever since the murder. They had to shut down the camp, and everybody here knows about the quote unquote murder. No one, you've all heard different stories about it. None of us really, every person here has heard something different about what happened, but it's enough that you do know that a body was found. And that because of that, parents were hesitant to send their kids the next couple of years, and you can't really, without teens to camp, you can't really have a camp. So it kind of shut down. That said, you can see that Jenny she's spinning around on her finger a set of keys. And Jenny says, "Hey, if you are interested, we have access to all the cabins. Here, actually, I'm going to give which one of you is probably the most responsible of you guys? Of you,
a poli-sci major.
Do you guys both reach for it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think she says, sure. Here, and she kind of tosses it in the air towards you guys and lets you fight over it. That's for cabin C. It's one of the ones over there. Just try a couple of doors, you'll figure it out. Most of the signs are weathered away. It's hard. I don't know which. They weren't really in any sort of order anyway, but C is over there. I do know that much. Points over to a couple of them.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you catch it with your stick?
Yeah. Let's just lean into it really hard. Yes.
I think
it's
the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
the
think it's
hammerhead
heading
shows the keys
towards,
heading.
Judd, and then like the stick reaches out and catches it before it reaches him.
Perfect.
Whoa,
Love
you can
that.
knock someone's eye out with that thing. Foreshadowing, maybe.
Yeah. So if you all want to set up your stuff, you can meet us over here in a bit. We're just starting to set up the fire. It's sun soon, and you look over and you can see that the sun is about to hit the treetops. So you got a little bit of time before it gets dark, but not a ton. For you guys to go set up your stuff. Luckily for you, Judd, you have access to the beds in a cabin. So just because you brought your bedroll might be enough to help get you by
Nice.
for the night.
Good.
I knew it would work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they kind of point you in the direction of the cabins and head themselves back over to the fire pit and the other 2.5, if you count the Sherlock as a character, over by the fire. What are you all up to?
First of all, I definitely count Sherlock as a character. And
Yes,
secondly,
of course.
I think Renee's going to check out the cabin, make sure everything's working, check to see if the water's running, make sure the toilet's functioning, all the boring crap that probably nobody else is doing.
Perfect. Are you going alone, or are they coming with you?
Yeah, I think I'm tagging along and like just slumping in, claiming a bed right away. Not even like best bed, just like, claiming a bed.
Perfect. All right. So how about you, Brad? Are you joining?
No, I'm going to stay out and throw the football around with Jack.
Perfect. Is one of you guys going to take Brad's stuff for them?
If he mentions it. You're gonna mention it?
No.
All right.
If
Perfect.
he doesn't, then Renee will.
Renee just grabs Brad's stuff and starts treading off. Perfect.
Yeah.
So we'll start with you two, and then we'll cut back over to Brad.
By the time you get to the door and you're fumbling with the key, I realize you're carrying 2 persons worth of stuff, and then volunteer very chivalrous, whatever.
Chivalrously.
I think Judd says that out loud.
Let me be
that way.
chivalrous.
And then Renee corrects him. Yes.
That's right.
But after correcting him, she says, "Thank you."
Mm-hmm. You open the doors and you see there are 6 sets of bunk beds, 3 on each side, and then 6 on each side of bunk beds. This cabin would have been able to hold 12 children or teens or whatever age kids, and then. And the back there is a little divider to set people into 2 different little mini bathrooms. There's 2 showers and 2 toilets, able to be like curtained off from the rest of the group. If you check the water pressure, as you mentioned before, it's nice. It's actually pretty good. It doesn't seem to get too hot, but the pressure's good. So water still runs, electricity still runs.
Yeah, Renee will probably just like run the pipes for a little bit to get whatever is the water that's like rusty in there, right? Mm-hmm. Discolored, but not unusable. Yeah.
Yes, I think that when you turn it on, of course, it comes out like for the camera like red.
Oh
right?
Yeah.
Like and then it peters out to a nice clear running water. Mm-hmm. Do you select your beds, and where do you pick?
As soon as we walk through the door, I actually throw Brad's stuff right in the corner. Just chuck it. Like all the care that Renee had given, it's just gone. And I just throw it in the corner. I find the bed that I think is the best bed, which doesn't have to be accurate, and I just plop in it with my shoes on and say, dibs.
Perfect. Can you pull a tile?
Yes. Cobra's in the bed. All right, let me think about this. Oh, I'm picking the wrong screen for this because I'm a silly guy. All right. Why? Okay. Yay!
Yay! It
Perfect.
worked.
Yeah.
You are about to jump onto the bed when you notice there is a lump in the covers, about the size of a potato. And as you roll it back, you find that there is a dead squirrel in the sheets. It appears to have been decomposing for some time, but had been tucked neatly underneath the covers, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's the bed. There is a rotten animal in that bed.
Renee, you got to be careful with your bed. There's this poor critter passed. He's actually showing some sympathy, Judd, which is not quite what you may have expected from the car ride. He's like, have a good journey, little guy. And then he takes one of like Brad's things and uses it to take the things out and bring it outside at ours, like, and I chuck it into the woods.
Very nice.
Yeah. So when Jed says that, I think Renee was running water, and so as Jed is leaving, sort of ducks her head back in and says, "What did you say?" And then he's gone, and she sort of rolls her eyes and goes back to what she's doing.
I got something to ask Renee, anyways, when we come back.
So if Renee, you are in the restroom still, correct?
Yes.
You hear the sound of something crunching outside of there's a high window, enough to let light in, but not to let a peeping Tom really, they'd have to really freaking try to peep Tom in this situation. But if you wanted to, you could stand on the toilet and look out if that is something you're interested in, but you do hear noises coming from outside.
Oh, I'll definitely stand on the toilet and look out.
All right, can you please pull a tile?
Yes.
All right.
I want 3 from the bottom center tile.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Where do you want to put it?
The middle of the stack.
I figured.
The only place left.
Okay.
All right.
You see nothing directly near you making that noise. You know, maybe it was some sort of animal going by. But at the tree line in the distance, you do see a shape, or at least your eyes think you see a shape. It's kind of a human. It would be the right size to be a person and the right vague silhouette of a person. But as you try and focus on it, it's almost like a magic eye, but backwards, where you can see it, but as you squint to look more, it becomes blurrier and kind of fades away. But you get the distinct feeling that whatever that was, if you could see it, it could see you.
Spooky.
Nice. I at the doorway, I shout of the bathroom. I shout, Renee! So she has a stumble fear, like a fake out early in the horror movie. You shouldn't stand on the toilet seat. It could be dangerous.
Jesus, Judd, the only reason it would have been dangerous is that I would have fallen from you scaring me like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm just trying to look out for you. Anyways, watch out for bugs or like dead animals in your beds, because it's really super creepy.
Yeah, and I saw somebody walking outside of there. It was probably just like Mia or something, but you know.
Yeah, so I've been meaning to ask you, I'm glad we're alone. I have something personal to ask you, if you're okay with that.
I guess it sort of depends on what you're asking, but
about Jenny. Are you friends with her? Like, do you know her pretty well? Like, can I ask you some questions about what's her deal?
yeah, I know her pretty well.
All right, because I have some. Well, I know that her family has a lot of money and a lot of pull, and I feel like I could be an asset to the team. Like, he awkwardly goes into a job, like he's in for a job interview, and he's like, I think that, I just want to run a couple of things past you and see if you think it'll fly.
You want to ask Jenny if you can, like, be her personal assistant?
Yeah, I think that'll work. Yeah, I mean, like, like for a summer job, like for her family, like you think that they're hiring and they would, I mean, I'm a poli-sci major and I got a lot of experience with like dealing with things and managing things. And I think I could help them out and maybe run the camp or something. I mean, I don't give a shit about the camp or camping, but there's got to be something I can. Do you just think this is like a weird way to bring it up, or like it shows initiative?
Let me just like ask her if she's got something, and I can get back to you, and maybe then you could bring it up.
Maybe don't bring me up yet. I'm just trying to figure this out. And did you hear that?
Yeah.
There's a noise, and I want to just, I don't want to bring this up. I don't want to make this weird, but at the same time, like, I'm kind of desperate.
And at that point, you hear a scream coming from the other group of people. The camera flies out of the cabin over to Brad, who has just put a spider on whose back? Jenny or Mia?
Definitely Jenny, because
definitely Jenny.
Yeah,
because perfect. and the sister of your friend, Jack. Perfect.
Oh, of Jack. Yeah.
Brad, you jerk! What are you doing?
Oh, just goofing around. Chill out, Jenny.
Oh my gosh! Did you see what he did? She's definitely had a couple of drinks, and she looks over to her partner in crime in this, Mia, who is also drinking. What's a terrible but very common in the 80s drink for them? Because like my first thought is always like, I'm thinking like Zima and stuff, but that's 90s.
Yeah, that's 90s.
Just generic wine coolers.
They did Bartles and James wine coolers back then.
Bartles and James. There we go. There you go. Yeah, they're drinking
I threw the Jenga tower on the screen because I could have sworn we were going to get a poll either for the awkward relationship / resume advice that I asked for, or the spider was going to be a Black Widow.
Ooh. I didn't think of that. That's good though. No, I was just trying to think of a fun way to bring the camera over. Brad, you are now hanging with the rest of the group. Everyone is drinking quite a bit, and as we are, as you are, pick a person with whom you want to interact with as the sun starts to go down.
I think Mia is organizing all of this drinking, right?
Perfect.
Yeah. So she comes over with some beers for me and Jack.
So
they're drinking the
Bartles and James.
Bartles and James, yeah.
You guys got to catch up. We've been here for a while.
Yeah, give me that, and I'm gonna take it and shotgun it.
Perfect. Yeah, we've been here for a couple of days now. It was Jack and Jenny's dad was nice enough to drop us all off. I'm glad you guys were able to come out though, even though you couldn't stay for the whole week. But it's nice to see you guys here for a bit. How was riding with Judd? I feel like that's a trip.
It was. He was talking about ancient aliens.
Oh, what? He was talking about ancient aliens?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Is he like?
That's so intriguing.
Yeah,
he seems deep. No, sorry.
Yeah, he seems like the kind of person I'd want to maybe hire for a summer internship or whatever it is he's looking for. Yeah. So what? So you're here for? Are you guys just here for the night? Are you here for the weekend? What's the plan?
We're here for the weekend.
And then at that point, Jack comes over and he's got Sherlock, his golden retriever, by his side. And he comes over with Melvin and he puts an arm over your head. He said, "If you survive the weekend, ooh." And Melvin says, "Oh, shut up. Don't even start with that. I can't even with you guys. Not after last night."
Why is this camp haunted or some shit?
Oh, do you not? Melvin looks at you over his glasses. He like pulls them down, his sunglasses. He pulls it down to the tip of his nose, looks over them and says, "Do you not know about what's happened here? Like that's all we talked about last night. Have you never heard of Black Moon, Camp Black Moon?"
I mean, I heard of it, but
no, but like the crimes, the murders.
No, I never heard of any murders.
Oh, and then Jack says, "It was one murder. It wasn't murders. Like a lot of people died here." But yeah, there was a guy who was found in one of the cabins a while back. He was murdered. But you know, my family doesn't really like to talk too much about it. It's kind of a sore spot. As you would imagine, a murder at your family camp. But yeah, they say that his ghost still haunts this very grounds. Ooh, and he shotguns a beer. As have fun saying that. I think Melvin like slaps him on the back when he says it, and he starts coughing up the fizz of the beer, and with that, as he starts saying, he like spills it all over himself, and he's like, "You're a jerk! Hold on, I'm gonna go get a new shirt," and he starts heading towards a cabin on the opposite side of where you guys were, and I think he passes Renee and Judd on the way back. I assume are you guys walking, running? How are you?
Oh, Renee would run.
Yeah, because you had heard the scream. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
So you run into Jack on the way back.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Jack, what was the scream about? We heard it all the way over in Block C.
Oh, the ghost of Counselor Jimmy just attacked Mia, and he just keeps walking on into his own place, just ignoring you as he like, well, fan service it. He like takes off his wet shirt as he's walking to his cabin. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So
I kind of smile and I'm like, "Oh man, you're as soon as you walk away, I'm like, that asshole. Oh man, I'm sorry, Renee. That scared the hell out of me too."
Yeah. Well, I just thought if somebody was hurt, I've got 1/8 of a medical degree.
That's pretty cool. I mean,
oh shit! I don't know what I was thinking. Oh.
No, I mean 1/8 of it.
Where Brad and me and them are, all you hear is some like drunken laughter. So
you hear the drunken laughter, and you notice though that and you hear the barking of the dog, but that's really the only sounds you hear. Aren't you in the woods? Aren't you in the forest? Shouldn't there be more than this? It's weird.
Is it like weirdly quiet to you?
I mean, I guess maybe the animals got spooked too from all the screaming. Are animals afraid of people getting hurt?
Yeah, well, I guess a loud noise, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I do sports, but I'm not really the camping type, you know?
Hey, what were you looking at outside the window when I saved you from falling?
Oh, I saw somebody out there. I just figured it was like Mia or somebody trying to scare us or something like that.
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
And you hear banging coming from the cabin that our what's his name, Jack, went into. You hear him go, "Hey guys, I'm sorry. The ghost thing was just a prank. Can you guys let me out now? This isn't funny." And he's banging on the door to the
A
cabin.
drunk idiot got locked inside his own cabin and thinks we did it.
Wow.
But I seriously might need a job, so I'm gonna go try to rescue him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna see what the others are doing.
Yeah, all right. So I go "Hey, Jack, my man," and I'm clearly I don't like these people, but I'm trying. So I'm "Hey, Jack, my man, you just," and I try to open the door.
It is locked. It is not budging. And you can see that it's shaking because he's on the other side. Come on, just let me out. This isn't funny.
Yeah, man, I think you're holding the door. Are you holding the door? I'm
gonna let go of it right now. I'm gonna let go.
Yeah.
Okay, you.
Okay. Yeah, it's not budging.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna knock it down. All right. Get away from the door.
Okay. You pull a tile.
No, I run. I'm about to run toward the door, and then I'm like, "Hey, Brad, come help me knock this door down."
And while Brad, are you going to?
Yeah, I'll jog over there and see what's going on.
I'm just trying to get everyone back on in the same scene.
Yeah. Can you tell your friend to stop making those noises? It's not funny. You're not going to scare me.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Dude, stand back from the
Renee,
door.
can you tell Renee to just leave me alone? This is not funny.
Renee's out here with us, man. No one's making noises.
No, Renee,
I'm literally standing over here.
What? But if that's not you, and you hear him, the floorboards start creaking as he starts walking towards the back of the place, and then you hear, "Oh my god!" And he starts run. You hear steps coming forward, and he's banging really, really hard on the door. Come on, let me out, guys, let me out. And he's panicking.
Okay, I'm gonna try and knock
Renee
the door
is.
in.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say Renee would try the keys, but I think you should knock the door in. Yeah.
You would pull a tile.
Okay. Give me one of the middle tiles from the middle there.
Okay. Ooh, it's really hard to pull out a middle tile. There it is. And where do you want it? Middle, I assume?
Put it on the top, yeah.
Let's see if it goes there. Damn it, every time. All right.
You bust open the door in time to see Jack standing there. He's covering his mouth, and smoke seems to be coming from in between his fingers. And he's coughing and coughing and coughing, and more smoke is coming out of his mouth and through his fingers.
Did you swallow a cigarette? What happened, man?
Renee does rush forward and try to do the Heimlich maneuver.
Pull a tile.
Yep.
All right. And which tile?
I'm gonna take. I'm gonna do a bit of a risky move, and I'm gonna take one of the edge tiles from where there is an empty space on the other side.
Oh, okay.
Woo!
You hit it.
Success.
Perfect success. He is so hot. Like your arms are like sore holding him, but you do it. You pull in on his stomach. You lift up just like they taught you in that quarter one or semester one of medical school or whatever pre-med you're taking. And smoke pours out of his mouth. And he coughs and he gets to the ground and he looks up at you and his eyes are bloodshot. But he says, what's going on? What's going on? And I think we pause there.
Yeah.
All right.
Part one of our spooky special.
And part 2 will be in the spooky month of November. Ooh.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Hey, Dia de los Muertos is in November.
That's
Absolutely.
true. And daylight savings, which is terrifying for someone.
Oh
who
my
does
god,
not
daylight
understand how
savings
clocks
is the scariest thing on earth.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
Is it the last daylight savings though? Like, wasn't it a thing that was voted on that in 2024 we will no longer be doing it?
I mean,
God, I hope so.
it's America, so I wouldn't be surprised if we do dark ages after the next election.
I think that was like the one thing that was passed bipartisan over the last couple of years was like unanimously bipartisan.
If you're listening to this in podcast form and you have your druthers, follow us on the Facebooks and the Twitches and the YouTubes so you can see us play this game with a virtual Jenga tower. I can't wait for part 2. This is going to be a lot of fun.
All right.
Hey, thanks, Alex, for running.
Oh, no problem.
And watch for the skies. I'm telling you, I'm keeping that until somebody writes something better for me. I give up.
It only works this time because of Halloween.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Now it worked.
On the Ancient Aliens.
Yeah.
And the Ancient Aliens. Yeah. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Oh.
Hey there, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Dungeon Not Included. If you did, please tell a friend and leave us a 5-star review and encouraging comments on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or wherever you get your podcasts. It really does help spread the word for new shows like ours. You can follow the latest from the Dungeon Not Included crew on Twitter at DNI Crew, and over at Facebook at Dungeon Not Included, or at our home on the Non-Productive Network at non-productive.com/DNI Crew, where you can find articles, character sheets, and Patreon exclusives, as well as our latest episodes. Thanks!
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.